Good morning and welcome. You are watching the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. As always, we're coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. This morning too, we're ready to bring to you details of all the top stories from both here at home and around the world. Stay tuned with us. We have all the news in detail. Let's start off with news here at home. President Anurukumara Dissanayake left for the United States last night from the Bandaranaike International Airport in Karunaratne to attend the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. According to schedule, President Dissanayake is set to address the UN General Assembly on Wednesday at 3:15 p.m. New York time. During his stay, the president is expected to hold bilateral discussions with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres as well as several other world leaders. He will also meet with members of the Sri Lankan community residing in the United States. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism, Vijitha Herath, is accompanying the president on this visit. Now, meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that President Dissanayake will undertake an official visit to Japan from the 27th to the 30th of September at the invitation of the Japanese government. During the visit, he is scheduled to meet with the Emperor of Japan, hold summit-level discussions with the Prime Minister on key bilateral issues, and address a business forum attended by leading Japanese investors and business representatives in Tokyo. The President will also take part in Sri Lanka Day at Expo 2025 Osaka as an invited guest of the Japanese government, where Sri Lanka's cultural heritage and economic potential will be showcased to the international community. Additionally, President Dissanayake is expected to address the Sri Lankans residing in Japan during this visit. Now, police say the two bodies discovered at a house in Seenimodara, Tangalle, are suspected to have been murdered elsewhere and later brought to this location. The suspicion arose following the initial investigations. Postmortems on the deceased are scheduled to be conducted today at the Tangalle hospital, where the government analyst also inspected the site yesterday. Meanwhile, investigations have been launched into the discovery of large quantities of drugs and firearms in several locations in Tangalle. Police said the operations are being led by the Tangalle Divisional Crimes Investigation Unit together with the Tangalle Headquarters Inspector. The incident first came to light yesterday morning when police, acting on information, found the bodies of two individuals inside a house in Seenimodara. Another person who had been inside the house was admitted to the hospital and later succumbed. It was revealed that the property owner had sold the land a few days earlier to another person, who then employed 3 workers to construct a boundary wall around the premises. Police investigations found that the workers had hosted a party at the house the previous night, after which one person had fallen ill and was hospitalized. Acting on a tip-off from his relative, police searched the premises and discovered these 2 bodies. Police suspect the deaths may have been caused by poisoning. Following the discovery, the house was thoroughly examined and 2 lorries parked on the premises were also searched. One of them contained about 400 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine or ice, as well as heroin. In the course of the probe, police also located another lorry about 6 kilometers away from the house. A search of a vehicle uncovered more than 200 kilograms of heroin and crystal meth hidden in a stock of watermelons. In addition, 5 modern revolvers and T-56 assault rifle was also seized. One suspect has been arrested, and police confirmed that a joint investigation into the series of incidents is currently underway. Let's move on to more local news. Chief of the Indian Navy, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, who is in Sri Lanka on a 4-day official visit, met with Commander of the Sri Lanka Navy, Vice Admiral Kanchana Banagoda, at the Navy headquarters in Colombo. According to the Sri Lanka Navy, Admiral Tripathi was warmly received upon his arrival at the headquarters. During the official meeting, discussions focused on strengthening the bilateral cooperation between the 2 navies, enhancing long-term friendship, and working jointly to ensure maritime and regional security. Both commanders underscored the importance of collaborative approaches to safeguard the shared maritime domain. To mark the occasion, the 2 sides exchanged mementos as well. Admiral Tripathi is also scheduled to meet senior government and defence officials during his visit. In addition, he will take part in the 12th edition of the Galle Dialogue, the international maritime conference organised by the Sri Lankan Navy. Well, the Parliament is scheduled to convene today at 9:30 a.m. under the chairmanship of Speaker Dr. Jagat Vikramaratne. Sessions will continue until the 26th of September as part of this week's agenda. The second reading debate on the National Building Research Organisation Bill is set to take place today. Tomorrow, Parliament will allocate time for the second reading debate of the Penal Code Amendment Bill. And on Thursday, the House will take up for debate the approval of regulations under the Imports and Exports Control Act. Meanwhile, on Friday, the 26th of September, from 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Parliament will hold an adjournment debate on the fourth report of the Committee on Public Enterprises, or COPE, on a motion presented by the government. Now, Speaker Dr. Jagat Vikramaratne has endorsed the National Audit Amendment Bill, making it law as Act number 19 of 2025. The bill was first presented to Parliament on the 8th of July and was passed with amendments on the 11th of September. One of the key changes introduced through this act is granting the Auditor General the authority to lodge complaints with law enforcement agencies regarding instances of fraud or corruption. On to more local news now. The second meeting of the Hindu Religious Advisory Council was held at the Ministry of Education under the chairmanship of Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Higher Education and Vocational Education, Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. During the meeting, the council highlighted that there is a severe shortage of teachers for the subject of Hinduism, as many of the teachers appointed for the subject are currently engaged in teaching other subjects as well. The council stressed the need for a solution to this issue. In response, the Prime Minister stated that data on teachers across all provinces is currently being collected, and once this process is complete, steps will be taken to recruit and appoint teachers in a systematic manner to ensure a proper balance. The Council also proposed reactivating Hindu student associations in schools, many of which have become inactive. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister noted that with the upcoming education reforms, students will be directed towards an activity-based learning approach, under which religious education in schools will also be made more interactive and activity-driven. The International Day of Sign Languages is observed today under the theme No Human Rights Without Sign Language Rights. According to data released by the United Nations, around 70 million people worldwide live with hearing impairments, using more than 300 different sign languages. The UN first marked the International Day of Sign Languages in the year 2018. Let's move on to your weather forecast for today. The Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the western and Sabaragamo provinces and in the Galle, Mathura, Kandy and Nura Elia districts. A few showers may occur in the northwestern province as well. Showers or thunder showers are likely at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batiklo districts after 2 p.m. today. Fairly strong winds of about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills and in the central, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. And as always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Let's now take a look at your international news for this morning. World leaders began convening on Monday at one of the most volatile moments in the United Nations' 80-year history, and the challenges they face are as dire as ever, if not more so. Unyielding wars in Gaza and Ukraine, escalating changes in the US approach to the world, hungry people everywhere, and technologies that are advancing faster than the understanding of how to manage them. Now, high-level general debate at the UN General Assembly will begin today at 9 a.m. EDT. The annual high-level gathering at the UN General Assembly will bring presidents, prime ministers and monarchs from about 150 of the 193 UN member nations to the United Nations headquarters. The Secretary-General says it is an opportunity that can't be missed, even in the most challenging of moments. The high-level meeting starts this morning in the vast General Assembly chamber. US President Donald Trump will speak shortly after Secretary-General Guterres' opening State of the World speech. Well, France has recognized the Palestinian state, joining several Western countries in doing so ahead of the annual United Nations General Assembly meeting in New York. Recognition of the Palestinian statehood by Australia, Canada, Portugal and the United Kingdom on Sunday piled pressure on Israel as it intensifies its genocidal war on Gaza, which has killed more than 65,300 Palestinians and turned the enclave into rubble. Spain, Norway and Ireland recognized Palestinian statehood last year, with Madrid also imposing sanctions on Israel for its war on Gaza. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez told the summit that a two-state resolution was not possible when the population of one of those two states is the victim of a genocide. Now, Emmanuel Macron, in his speech, also outlined a framework for the creation of a renewed Palestinian Authority, under which France would open an embassy, subject to factors such as reforms, a ceasefire and the release of all remaining captives held in Gaza. The framework also envisages an International Stabilization Force, or ISF, that would assist in the preparation of a Palestinian Authority to take over governance in Gaza. Well, still in international news, this is an update regarding a headline-making international news item. Now, Disney said Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to its ABC network lineup on Tuesday, 6 days after it suspended the talk show host following threats by a Federal Communications Commission or FCC chairman over comments the host had made about Charlie Kirk's alleged killer. This marks the highest profile move from a private sector to challenge a string of efforts by US President Donald Trump to crack down on his perceived media critics through litigation and threats of regulatory action. In announcing the decision, ABC's parent company said it had suspended production of the late-night comedy show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for the country, as they said. Disney said the company felt some of Kimmel's comments in question were ill-timed and thus insensitive. The decision was guided by what was in the entertainment company's best interest rather than external pressure from state owners or the FCC. Kimmel is expected to address this issue when his show returns on Tuesday. Coming up next is sports news for this morning. And in sports, it's cricket. Sri Lanka will play its decisive second match of the Super 4 stage in the 2025 Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament today against Pakistan. The official local broadcasting rights holder of this year's Asia Cup is the Sirasa Media Network. So far in the Super 4 stage, both teams have played one match each. Sri Lanka lost its opening game to Bangladesh by 4 wickets, while Pakistan suffered a 6-wicket defeat against India. With both sides aiming to keep their hopes alive in this tournament, today's encounter is seen as a must-win clash. According to the Super 4 points table, Sri Lanka currently holds 3rd place, while Pakistan is placed 4th. Head-to-head in the T20 internationals, the two teams have met 23 times, with Pakistan winning 13 matches and Sri Lanka winning 10. Speaking ahead of the game, Pakistan cricketer Sahibzada Farzan said his team is well prepared to take on Sri Lanka, adding that they are eager to face India in the tournament's final. The match that will be held in Abu Dhabi is set to kick off at 8 p.m. Sri Lankan time today. All matches can be watched live on TV1 and streamed live via www.sirasatv.lk. And that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. Thank you for joining us this morning. Do join us tomorrow as well, same time, same place, for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.